I was lucky to know a friend who worked with some women somewhere in Kayunga near a landing site. So I took some time and went and worked with those women and saw how they work. They're very strong women who ride bicycles with kids on their backs because basically their husbands are fishermen and they do all the rest of the work. And I interacted with those women and they gave me a lot of insight on how to prepare for Grace. Grace is the main protagonist of the story. She's a very strong-willed woman who won't stop at nothing to give her child the life that she never had. And more to that, she's a woman who is not afraid to go against the culture norms of her society and achieve all her dreams. I fell in love mostly with how transformative she is. She starts out as this ordinary woman, just another woman in the village of Rubaya who can do anything. But at the end of the day, she becomes the woman that makes the changes the village needed. The story of Grace is a story that many people can relate with. There's a lot of women that I know whose story is definitely going to be told. It may not be exactly this, but I can bet that there's very many women who can relate to Grace, and it would be a pleasure for me to be the one to put this story out. The fun thing about Grace was a challenge. Grace tried me. Grace pushed me over the edge. I've not really done a role like that before. So Grace pushed me over the edge. Grace took me to places. Emotionally, Grace really pushed me. But then also acting Grace and having the power and having all those men eating out of the palms of my fingers, it was kind of nice. I liked it. When I saw this script, it was love at first sight. I made the decision to do it before anything else was talked about, mostly because of the story itself. The story of Grace is quite inspiring. It's quite informative. The information about the landing sites, and these are things that we have been seeing that most people don't want to talk about. Polly did a very good job writing that story. You could see the heart and the passion that he put into writing it, and then it landed in the hands of Mr. Ken Sebagala Zenken, as you all know him, and he did great justice. He allowed us to be creative with our acting. He allowed us to go overboard and think out of the box and give our best to this. Basically, they created an environment for all of us to put our hearts out there. Everyone on this team made this very possible for everyone to give it their best, and I believe everyone is going to love it. The scenery, every day you would never get tired. It's just a new place. You go to all these places in the morning and it's breathtaking. It's like working in paradise. At some point, I started getting ideas that maybe I should move to Kavale because it was that beautiful to work. So it was very satisfying in that sense. But then also there were, of course, some challenges because some of the scenes were shot in hilly places where cars would not go, and sometimes would have to walk down and up hills. The scenery was beautiful, but getting there was a struggle. And then when we moved to Renshama, it was also another experience. You know, working with nature, we would be working and then there are elephants coming through. What better way to work than that? It was very fulfilling. It was very rewarding to be on a project that gives you so much creative allowance, but then also giving you an environment to be yourself.